This is a beautiful picture of Alice and I, my beautiful wife, and we have worked together over the years and supported one another in our work and our community involvement and working with the Lexington County Peach Festival and building the Gilbert Community Park. So in my work in the Extension Service, Mama B supported me, and in her work I supported her, and in our volunteer work we worked together. And someone has said, you know, as they were going down riding in a two-horse wagon with two horses pulling the wagon, and the husband looked over at the wife and said, I don't see why we can't pull together like those horses are pulling together. And of course the answer was we could if we had only one tongue between us. And that's about the way we operated as husband and wife. We worked together and supported one another, and we're very, very successful. This is Granddaddy Boozer again, and don't I look young in this picture? Well, I was born at an early age of April the 28th, 1929, believe it or not, in the little town at that time of Lexington, South Carolina. And this is 2015 when we're doing this recording. That makes me be 86 years old right now. Of course, I have been involved in a number of activities through my age, and all of them, of course, have been very, very interesting. After graduating from Clemson, I taught school for 5 years. Then I worked for the Clemson University Extension Service 30 years and have been retired a number of years now. And I believe that's all you want to know about me at this point.
Chloe and Elijah, this is Dampy. My name is Mary Alice Sheely Boozer. Here I am, just smiling. I was born September the 6th, 1932 in Leesville, South Carolina. And I think this picture is when I was down at the Edisto Gardens in Orangeburg. Granddad and I used to go down there when we were dating and see the flowers. I always liked flowers, so we'd go down to Orangeburg, and that's where we are at this time.
This, of course, is Granddaddy Boozer again with two of his great-grandchildren, twins, Elijah and Chloe, and I'm so happy to have them with me. And I'm not sure what I was telling them, but I would like to tell them to always be a good boy and a good girl. And both of you are very smart, and I'm happy for that. And so I hope in life that you work hard and be very, very successful. Save some of your money and invest it properly, and always give back to the church as probably a tithe, 10%, and then go back to your community as well, always striving to make the community a better place in which to live.
It's always been so much fun when I saw that red van roll up in the yard and out jumped Chloe and Elijah. It just makes Dampy so happy to see you come, and we just sit down and play, and I just watch you grow, and you're just two wonderful little twins. Love you so much.
This is Granddaddy Boozer, and that's one of my graduating uniforms. I graduated from Pine Grove High School, believe it or not. That's down at Lone Star below St. Matthews. in 1946. Then I went to Clemson University, and I graduated in 1951 there and got a degree in agricultural education. And then, while teaching school at Gilbert High School for 5 years, I attended the University of South Carolina and got a master's degree in public school administration. And I believe that was about 1954.
Chloe and Elijah, this is Dampy graduating high school at Gilbert in 1949, I believe it was. There were 16 in our class, and you know, at that time you only went to 11th grade. We didn't have 12th grades. We just had 11th grades. And I went to our principal because I didn't like but one credit when I was a 10th grader of finishing. And he said to me, that was Mr. A.L. Harmon, he said, I'll let you graduate this year if you go to summer school and if you promise to go on to school after you finish here. And I said, I promise I will. And so I really graduated a year before I was supposed to, because I had enough credits to do that. And then I went on to Drones Business College in Columbia, which was a private college, for 2 years. And then after that, I went to work with a company and worked with a group of lawyers. Had a wonderful experience.
This is Granddaddy Boozer again, and this is one of my Navy uniforms. Just immediately after graduating from high school, in 2 months after graduating, they were still drafting to go into the Army in World War II. But I didn't want to go into the Army, so I joined the Navy at the ripe old age of 17. And after going through boot camp at Bainbridge, Maryland, I was privileged to serve on some aircraft carriers. And the first aircraft carrier that I served on was the USS Sicily, and then another one was the USS Mindoro, and I believe I ended up on the USS Saipan. And I had different jobs on the carriers. I helped launch planes on one of them. I served in the captain's office on one of them. And even, I believe the last one, I worked for an admiral. And I ended up as third-class petty officer as a yeoman. A yeoman is where you type in an office, but then when you're at sea, everybody has a battle station. And so my battle station was helping launch planes. This is a picture of Mama B and myself getting married, and that was 1952, I believe, along about Christmas time. And on the left was my father, Otto Raymond Boozer. I'm named after him because my middle name is Raymond. And then my mother, Ruth Boozer, on the right. She was from Lexington, and my father was from St. Luke's section right out of Prosperity.
Chloe and Elijah, here I am getting married. I think I was about 21 years old, and this was the happiest day of my life. I remembered going to church and checking it out to make sure everything at the church looked good, and it was just beautiful. And we had an old wind-up clock at that time that you took a key and wound up the clock. And we had been so busy around the house getting everything ready for the reception at Grandmama Sheila's until we had forgot to wind the clock. So it lost time, and I got to the wedding at the church, and it was 5 or 10 minutes late after it was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. And when I got there, Raymond's sister came running out and said, "Where in the world have you been?" And I said, what's wrong? And she said, why, you're 10 minutes late. And I said, well, I don't guess they're going to start until I get here. And I thought it was funny, and Granddaddy was all upset. He thought I was not going to show up. And then we got, I'm pictured here with my daddy, Joe Sheely, and my mama, Maddie Sheely. And she was our Helmer before she married a Sheely. She was German. And that's where we get our wonderful ancestry from the German family. Elijah and Chloe. This is Dampy when I started Farrah School of Beauty Culture in West Columbia, I believe it was. After your grandmother, BB, and was a little girl, and Aunt Linda, I just had to get out of the house a little bit, and I said, Daddy, I got to do something to get out of the house. And he said, if you're going to do anything, go back to school. So one Sunday morning, I picked up the paper, and Farrah School of Beauty Culture was advertising coming to beauty school. And I said, well, I got 2 little girls, so this is what I need to do. Just go learn how to fix their hair. And that's why I went to beauty school, was to try to learn to fix hair and just to get out of the house a little bit and have a little outing. And thoroughly enjoyed all my group that I went to school with. Had a good time. It lasted a little over a year, and then I got involved with that, and I had to serve an apprenticeship. I didn't know all that when I started, so that lasted a year. And then after that, all the ladies in the community started coming to the house to get their hair fixed. Had no place to fix their hair, so Daddy built me a beauty shop. And I ran that for about 25 years. Had a wonderful time. This is Miss Ellen and Mr. Bunk. That was our best friends that we had in Gilbert. And this is at a Ruritan National Convention. This was the first national convention I ever attended, and it was in New Orleans. And Ellen and I decided we were going that year with our husbands. And we were all excited about what we should wear. And she told me she was making her a blue dress. So I said, if you're going to wear blue, I'm going to have me a red dress made. So I had somebody to make me a red dress. And we had the best time. We walked all over New Orleans at that time. And had never been to a national convention. It must have been several hundred people there. But that was a great experience for me. I don't know what this picture represents, but Raymond and I were dressed up, Granddad and I, and I loved hats. I just loved hats. So, back in those days, you didn't go any place and dressed without a hat on. You were not dressed unless you had a hat. So I've had me a big black hat with a lot of white flowers, it looks like.
Many years ago, when Linda and Brenda, that's the picture on the top left, were 4 or 5 years old, we always had private vacations, we called it. And here we are in a swimming pool enjoying our private vacation. And then on the bottom right photo, we have Brianna and Brandon. And they were in the swimming pool as well. So we did this for a number of years, and we need to do that again.
Okay, Chloe and Elijah, this is my mom and daddy's golden anniversary. They look forward to this so much, and I had just been in the hospital about 6 weeks prior to this with a kidney stone. And I was so afraid I wouldn't be able to have it, but, I just did real well and felt real good. And Aunt Julia said, if you'll have it over at the pond at your house, I'll fix the cake and I'll decorate. So she made the cake that you see here. That was my sister Julia. Then next to her is Horace, my brother, and then my dear mother. and then my other brother John, and then Granddaddy Sheila, and then I think it's my picture. Anyway, just a wonderful, wonderful family, and we had a good time, and Grandmother just thoroughly enjoyed her day. She smiled all day, and Daddy, look at the smile on his face.
Okay, this is one of our family pictures, but the picture in the middle, everybody calls her Aunt Doris, and that is my sister, Doris Matthews, and she spent her whole life in the education business. She started off teaching elementary school, and then she ended up with a PhD degree and taught school on the college level for a number of years. So that's Aunt Doris in the middle, my sister Doris Matthews.
And Chloe, here you are. I think we're trying to draw, and Grandmother is not one that draws, but I love to read, and you like to read, so I hope you'll always love to read and to draw, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do as you grow up. But I know you're so talented, and you will be wonderful at whatever you do. Just be happy with yourself, be a good little girl, and read lots if you can.
This is a picture of myself and Chloe, and on the little pad where you can draw on it, she thinks she can draw better than I can, but that's not right. I can draw a better box than she can. I can draw a better flower than she can. Of course, she doesn't agree with that, but I think that's so.
Chloe and Elijah, here we are playing with our animal puzzle. I always liked animals. When I was a little girl, about 10 or 12 years old, I told my daddy I wanted a little project so I could have my own money. I was always a very independent person. And so he built me a little chicken house, and I had my own little chicken yard, my own eggs that I gathered. So he gave me 25 chickens. And I loved my chickens. Every day I'd come home from school, I'd go out to the chicken house, and here they'd come meet me. And I'd sit there and just rub my chickens. And from 25 chickens, I got 24 eggs day after day after day, which was most unusual. They don't usually lay that much. Anyway, and I have always liked animals.
This is a picture of me again, and I am real happy and smiling because one of the twins, Chloe, is sitting on my lap with her favorite little dog baby, and this is before she grew a whole lot of hair. And I don't know what I'm telling her there, but I'm sure I am telling her all kind of good things to do when she grows up, and hopefully she's going to follow all the advice that I'm giving her and become very successful in life at whatever she does, and makes a big contribution to her fellow men as well.
Elijah, here we are bumping heads, and did you know now everybody bumps heads with me? And I appreciate that so much. You always come up and bump heads. I love that. Here we are playing this little pig. And now it looks like I got two little pigs.
Well, as you can see, I belong to a musical family, and I took 2 or 3 years of violin lessons in Leesville, South Carolina, and then, believe it or not, after I learned to read music just a little bit, I began to play with another band. When I was teaching agriculture, we had a band that we put together, and I learned how to play some actually songs like Down Yonder and well, I don't know what you call those songs. And here is Brandon, and he's musical. He's playing a little violin. And then there is Brianna to the right, and she's playing, and she went on to graduate at the University of Miami in music education, and she is a real music scholar. I can't play nearly as well as she can, and that's your mother, by the way, but I try. As I mentioned earlier, I think you've been born into a musical family, Elijah, because you like to play, and I like to play as well. I can play a violin or a fiddle a little better, but several instruments are played similar, and I can play those as well. I used to play a guitar a little bit as well. And of course, Elijah is playing now there, and he has a drum set, I understand, Elijah, and I like to hear you play the drums. This is a picture of me playing the violin. But anyway, when I was agricultural teacher at Gilbert High School, we had an FFA band, that's Future Farmers of America, and we needed to raise some money. And we put on a show, and we called it the Casey Coffin Show. And of course, we were advertising a radio station called STIFF, Stiff, the Casey Coffin Show. And of course, the little advertisement went like this: Casey coffins, they are fine, made of satin, brass, and pine. When your loved ones pass away, let them go the Casey way. Okay, let's get on with the show. Thank you. Okay, this is our pond over where we have a little bathhouse and another little party house, and we had to draw it down a few years back to repair a leak in the dam and in the spillway. And here we have most of the water out of the dam, and we're going to make the repair. And then we're catching some of the fish. We're going to have a big fish fry. And then as it begins to back up, we're going to restock the pond with bass and brim and catfish. And actually now 2015, when we're doing this recorder, Grandmother B and I went out on the dock the other day, and you won't believe it, we cast out 4 times, and we caught 4 bass that weighed about 1.5 pounds apiece. That was pretty good fishing.
Chloe and Elijah, here we are in Australia with your mama, Granddaddy and myself, and we were so happy that your mama could go with us, because that's all the way under the world, I guess, from us, and got over there, and she wanted to do the bungee jump, and I said, there's no way, Brianna, you can do the bungee jump. The last day to sign up to do it, and she came up and she says, Dampy, I really want to do the bungee jump here in Australia. This is where it all originated. And I said, Brianna, we cannot let you do that. And one teardrop went down her face. And she just looked at me, and that little tear came out and just dropped off of her face. And I said, oh, heck, go on, do it. If something happens to you, we want you to go back home. And this is Christmas at Dampy's house and Granddaddy's, and you see your mama and Uncle Brandon blowing out the Christ candle. We light that every year, and it came from Bethlehem, where Jesus was supposed to have been born, and I purchased it there. And every Christmas we light the candle and sing Happy Birthday, Jesus.
Like the lightning bug that flew backwards into the electric fan, he was delighted. And here I am delighted. We're having breakfast up at Sheila's Barbecue in Leesville, and would you believe they brought me a piece of pie for my 86th birthday. And here is Mama Boozer looking on, and she's wishing she had some pie to eat too.
Okay, here we are, 3 clowns, and then we got a little cart over here with more clowns. The festival was started in 1959, and you know, I was the first chairperson of the festival, and loved every minute of the first year that we had it. Can remember that night when it was all over. Went out and danced right in front of my house. We had the street dance, so I danced half the night at the street dance that night. And then as the years went on, we started being clowns just to entertain the people. And here's your grandmama, BB, and your mama and myself. And we tried to get other people to join us, and I finally got Chloe and Elijah and Elliot and Brandon and Stacy and all those being clowns. Anyway, we had a lot of fun every July 4th. And here we are at the park, a place that you love to go. I can remember Elijah especially trying to learn to walk, and he was so happy when he could step up about 2 inches from one little spot to the next spot at the park, and then Chloe would stand there and look at him, looking through the playground area. And we've spent many days up there. I spent about 22 or 23 years with Granddaddy helping to develop the park, and with your mama and Auntie and all those. We worked so hard. Have a beautiful park in Gilbert now for all the children to come and enjoy. And every time y'all go, you have other friends that come up and play, and that's a wonderful place.
Hi, Chloe and Elijah. It's Bebe. Here I am holding one of you just after you were born. I believe this is Chloe. Did you know that I was born on February 17th, 1955 at McLean Hospital in Batesburg, South Carolina? I was named Brenda Ray Boozer. The Ray came from my father, Raymond, and Chloe, I believe you have the same middle name as well, Ray, R-A-E.
Hey, Elijah and Chloe, this is Todd, and here we have a picture of me. And that pretty lady is BB, you know her. Well, I think really this picture is supposed to be all about me, although BB did squeeze herself into it. So I'll tell you about me. I was born on February 5th in 1967. Wow, that seems like a long time ago. And I was born in South Carolina in Columbia. And BB and I are standing at my college campus. I went to college at the Citadel in Charleston. It's a military school. And Chloe, you can go if you want when you get to be 18 years old or graduate from high school. And so can you, Elijah, and I'd be glad to help you get there. It's cool.
This is BB. When you were little, I used to babysit for you while your mama went to work. We had so much fun playing with all of your toys. These pictures show some of our favorite things to do. Play-Doh, coloring and drawing pictures, and of course Elijah always loved his trucks. Chloe and Elijah both loved to climb, and sometimes they just had to show off special tricks. Look how high Chloe can lift her leg. Books, books, and more books. Both of you love to read books, especially just before nap time, and reading books is a good thing. This is one story I'll always remember. One day when I was keeping Chloe and Elijah, we were in the nursery changing diapers. Elijah was all finished and I was working on Chloe. When I looked around, Elijah had crawled into the bathroom and closed the door and opened the bottom drawer in the bathroom. When I went to get him out, I couldn't get the door open because the drawer was in the way. BB just didn't know what to do, so finally we called 911 and the lady sent the fire trucks to help rescue Elijah from the bathroom. The firemen came in and they worked and finally they got the door open and out came Elijah and everybody lived happily ever after. This is BB, and here we are playing out on your porch. Your mom and daddy always had such fun toys for us to play with. Everyone needs a good pair of boots. Here are some of Chloe's and Elijah's first boots. Chloe's are pink and Elijah's are brown. They would be perfect to wear when we go out to feed the fish down at the pond. When the weather was nice or even if it was chilly, we would bundle up and go outside and play. Elijah and Chloe both loved to ride on the riding toys. This picture shows Elijah riding on the old rocking horse his mother had when she was a little girl. And both of them loved being pulled in the wagon. Chloe especially likes to climb up high and slide down the sliding board. What fun it is to play outside. Your mother loves to take you on field trips. Here we are at the zoo, riding on the train. This was a lot of fun on such a beautiful day. Both of you always love to be held. Here, you look just like little koala bears hanging on. It's always such a fun day when you come to BB's house. Here we are making mud pies. We went outside one day and got some sand and leaves and acorns and water, and we made the yummiest mud pies. And then it's always fun to come inside and bake cookies. Here we are making some chocolate chip cookies and even eating some of the dough. Chloe and Elijah are standing on stools that Mr. Todd made for them. Each one has their name engraved on the top.
Elijah, this one may be a little more interesting to you, but I like to build stuff, and one of the things I built not long ago was an airplane. And here I'm with my dad, and we are getting ready to fire up that gasoline engine and make that big prop go around really, really fast. It's like a big fan.
Oh, what fun it is to climb up the stairs and go into the upstairs playroom where your mother's old toys are. There are drums to play, big circles to climb into, and then it's fun to bring down the Connect 4 game. It takes lots of concentration to do that. And sometimes we even like to play with Noah's Ark with our hair in curlers. Santa Claus always manages to make a stop at BB's house. Here Elijah got some binoculars and Chloe has a whole family of little pigs.
Hey Elijah, you know what this is? It's a banjo, the one you love to play at BB's house. Remember, if you want to be really, really good, you've got to practice every day. How about come on over and play with me one day?
Chloe and Elijah were on hand the day they delivered the pool. What an exciting time that was, watching them put it in place. And we've enjoyed swimming so much ever since then. We've had so many fun pool parties since we put in the swimming pool. This one was for Chloe and Elijah's 4th birthday.
Elijah, this is Todd. I see that you're playing drums on your 4th birthday at BB's pool, and you're doing a great job. You keep practicing a little bit every day, and you'll be famous. Well, here we are enjoying your birthday celebration at BB's pool. Must have been a nice summer day. In fact, I know it was. And seated at the table at the far right is my son, McGowan. He's Todd McGowan Long Jr., just like I'm Todd McGowan Long Sr. And then behind him would be my father, McGowan's granddaddy. And then you see, of course, your great-grandparents. And then there's Brandon and Kellen. And we're having a great time.
This picture shows your mom and daddy holding your 4th birthday cakes. They look delicious.
All right, Elijah and Chloe, I see this picture and it looks like I have a surprised look on my face, but not surprising is that I've got a guitar in my hands. In fact, pretty much throughout every single day, I'm probably no more than about 25 feet from a guitar, and I'm probably not more than about 25 minutes from playing one. I like to play them every day.
This is BB, and this is Chloe and Elijah eating lunch at BB's house. Sometimes we have macaroni and cheese and peas, and for dessert there's always a special treat like Kit Kats or Oreo cookies or maybe even ice cream. And when it's time for you to go home, we always have to have a piece of bread or banana nut bread or even a special blueberry muffin.
Elijah and Chloe, I think these pictures on this page really show how important and fun music can be in your life. And I hope that as you grow older, you'll continue to play all kinds of instruments. You see, BB plays the piano, and your great-grandfather and I are playing some stringed instruments.
Jesus Diane's futures day, first finding for heaven and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in your tender care, and give the true heaven to live with you there.
When you come to Bibi's house, we always like to go out and visit with Moultrie. Moultrie is a golden retriever. He's a very happy dog. The cat, Aurora Borealis, sometimes make an appearance and sometimes not.
Hi, Chloe and Elijah. This is your Auntie Linda. I was born on December the 20th, 1953 in Batesburg, Leesville, South Carolina at McLean Hospital. My name when I was born was Mary Linda Boozer. And then after I got married to your Uncle Larry, I became Mary Linda Boozer Ashley. But I am your auntie, and I graduated from Gilbert High School in 1972, and I went to Newberry College and majored in music education, and I graduated there in 1976. And then I taught chorus for many years, and I taught dancing, and I played the organ and piano at church and worked with the children's choir. And then I went into administration and was assistant principal at Batesburg Leesville Middle School for the last 12 years before I retired in 2008. I love you so very much and enjoy playing with you. Hi, Chloe and Elijah. This is your Auntie Linda again. Here we are playing on the floor, and one of my favorite things I remember is keeping you when you were little and as you're growing up now to be little boys and girls. And I remember fixing you chocolate pudding and bringing that to your house. And when I was changing your diapers, we would be singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and you'd learn sign language, and you would do that for me to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star again. Another fun thing we have fun playing was Jailhouse, and I would catch you and swing you 1, 2, 3, and you would say, out please, and then you would run around and we would go again. And we also had fun playing Abracadabra Disappear. I love you both so very much and enjoy keeping you and watching you grow into wonderful little boys and girls. Love you.
Hi, Chloe and Elijah. Happy birthday. This is your Aunt Stacy. I was born November 9th, 1982, and I graduated Gilbert High School in 2001. I graduated from Clemson University in 2005, and my son Kellen was born on September 4th, 2014. Happy birthday!
Hey, Chloe and Elijah, it's your Uncle Brandon. I was born in December 1st, 1982, and I graduated from Gilbert High School in 2001. And I'm a proud graduate of Clemson Tigers. Go Tigers!
Hi, Chloe and Elijah. Happy birthday. This is your Aunt Stacy. I was born November 9th, 1982, and I graduated Gilbert High School in 2001. I graduated from Clemson University in 2005. And my son Kellen was born on September 4th, 2014. Happy birthday!
Hey, Chloe and Elijah, this is your granddaddy, Uncle Brandon, and baby Kellen. We love you.
Wow, what a happy-looking group this is. We have Elijah and Chloe, Kellen, and there's Uncle Brandon and Granddaddy Boozer.
4 generations right here, the most beautiful girls in the world. That's your mama, BB, Chloe, and Dampy. Now this is a knockout little group. Here we got our grandchildren. That's Brianna and Brandon, and their husband and wife, their spouses is Stacy and Elliot. And then we got our great-grands, Chloe and Elijah and Kellen. Wonderful little group.
Hi, this is your daddy. I was born April 18th, 1978, a long time before you were born. I graduated from high school in Watkins Overton High School in Memphis, Tennessee, and went to school at University of Memphis and a master's from Lesley. And I've worked at Starbucks since October of 1999.
Hey Chloe, hey Elijah, this is Mama. I just wanted to tell you a little about me. I was born on May 20th, 1980 in Columbia, South Carolina at the Baptist Hospital. And I grew up in Gilbert, South Carolina, and then I went to Gilbert High School and I graduated first in my class, valedictorian. Then I went on to the University of Miami in Florida and majored in music engineering, and I graduated first there as well. Then I played my violin in Dollywood for a few years, where I met your daddy, Elliot, and we moved back to South Carolina, and I went to the University of South Carolina School of Law, and I graduated first in my class there too. Then I practiced law for a while, then I had the two of you. I love you.
This is a picture of one of our birthday celebrations. We always celebrate our family's birthdays at Dampy and Tallfellow's house. What a fun time we always have.
Okay, here we are at Christmas Eve. That's a wonderful time for our little family. We always get together at Dampy and Granddaddy's house and have a nice dinner. And then, oh my goodness, we got all these wonderful presents. We have Aunt Linda and Dampy and Granddaddy and Todd and Brenda and Stacy and Brandon and Brianna and Elliot and Chloe and Elijah. A wonderful little family, and what a great time we have together.
Merry Christmas, Elijah. This is BB. You are such a handsome, talented grandson, and I love you very much. Remember to always smile, enjoy life, study, work hard, and do have lots of fun times. You are smart, you are kind, and you are important. Enjoy this special book about our family. Merry Christmas, Chloe. This is BB. You are such a beautiful, fun-loving granddaughter. Keep that gorgeous smile, study, work hard, and enjoy all that life offers. Remember, you are smart, you are kind, and you are important. Have fun with this special book about our family. I love you very much. Christmas, Chloe and Elijah. What fun it was making this special book just for you. I know you will enjoy looking at the pictures and listening to our family stories many times.